How's it going, everyone? Yes, the PlayStation Store running its Golden Week sale and its games under $20 sale. Look, I've seen the comments, a lot of you guys memeing on me for mentioning too many JRPGs, so I got you guys covered in this video. Games under $10, ixnay on the JRPGs for now. Guys, it's Golden Week. It's a sale with a ton of JRPGs on sale, so obviously I was going to mention them, but let me give you guys that aren't a fan of JRPGs a bones, and let's talk about some games under $10 that I think are quite good. And no JRPGs on this list, so let's get right into it. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is 75% off for $9.99. Now, this is the base game, it's not the Deluxe Edition. Obviously, it's upgraded on the PlayStation 5. It plays great on the PS5, and Jedi Fallen Order itself is a very good game. By the way, rumblings of a sequel to be announced soon, and it might be released sooner than you think, so not a bad time to check this out. I liked a lot of things about the game. I did not hate Cal as a main character like some people did. Visually, I thought the game was quite good. Gameplay is solid, and, you know, overall, the combat's pretty good as well. The only thing that I really hated about the game was the atrocious map design as far as the map itself. Just thought that was poor. Hopefully they remedy that in the second game, but for $9.99, this is a great buy, and I would highly recommend it. Next up, we have Infamous Second Son, 50% off for $9.99. Of course, available through PlayStation Now. That's going to be more relevant in the coming months, of course, but Infamous Second Son was a game that I really enjoyed. You know, it is my least favorite of the three mainline Infamous games, excluding Festival of Blood, but the Second Son is still quite good. You know, I wasn't as hot on Delsin as a main character over Cole, but he's still okay, and the game itself is fairly good. A lot of content. If you rush through the main story, it's actually fairly quick, but overall, you've got some great gameplay, and the visuals actually hold up pretty nicely. I mean, the game came out 8 years ago at this point. One of the early PS4 exclusives, but nonetheless, a pretty good one. At $9.99, I think it's a good buy. Alright, next up, we have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. You guys, if you've been watching this channel, you guys know my feelings on this game. This is my favorite Assassin's Creed game. I know a lot of people are a fan of AC2, and I love the AC2 trilogy, loved Ezio as a main character, but Edward Kenway is my guy. And Assassin's Creed 4 was a great game. I thought the naval combat was pretty good. I thought it had so much content, just the sheer content in the game was wild for the time this game came out. It came out back in 2013, and there was a lot to do. Story was overall pretty good. Visuals also hold up pretty nicely. Would be nice for a PS5 upgrade, but dumbs the brakes. I doubt we're gonna get that ever, to be perfectly honest, but $9 for Black Flag I think is quite good. Alright, next up we have Middleearth Shadow of War, 85% off for $7.49. Excellent deal here. You know, it's not the definitive edition, which is a little bit of a bummer, but still the base game for $7.50 is a great pickup. Shadow of War is a great follow-up to Shadow of Mordor, and in my opinion, Shadow of War is a better game. This one designed only for the PlayStation 4. Shadow of Mordor was also on the PS3. But yeah, great action open world game. You know, it's not the biggest open world game in the standard of today's open worlds that are just getting bigger and bigger, but there's quite a bit to do, and there is a demo available, so if you want to check out the demo, that is an option as well. And then you can decide whether or not to pick it up or not, but I'm not like, you know, a huge fan of Middle-earth or anything like that, Lord of the Rings in general, but these games are accessible to just about anyone, and if you're a fan of action-adventure games, you're gonna like Shadow of War. Yeah, $7.49 is a great buy. Next up, we have Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, 67% off for $9.89. A lot of nostalgia for me attached to this game. I played it right when it came out, the original, back in 2009. This Game of the Year Edition doesn't refine the game in any major way. There are some upgrades for sure, some little enhancements from Borderlands 2 carried over into this one, but the game itself is just a fantastic game to get into. You know, I really thought Borderlands with Borderlands 1 and 2 was the peak of the franchise, and Borderlands 1 is still a fantastic time. Even if you play these games solo, like, I still think it's quite enjoyable, and Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, of course, includes all of the DLC content, and that's quite nice as well. Very replayable game with all the different classes. Humor is great. Not a big fan of the humor in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I don't know if I'm just getting old and jaded, but I love the humor in the early Borderlands games, and I think it holds up pretty nicely. $9.89 is a good buy for this. Next up, let's get out the pitchforks, because I am going to recommend the Order 1886, baby. 50% off for $9.99. You know, it'd be great if this was at $5, but I haven't seen it at $5 for a little bit, so I'm just going to give it a recommendation at $9.99. There's so much we could say about the Order 1886. Look, I know back in February of 2015, 2015, this was a game that was colossally disappointing to many people. It was a $60 game, and the game could be completed in like 6 hours, if that. However, now you're paying $9.99 for it, now you're going into it with tempered expectations, and I think what you have in the Order 1886 is quite good. Gameplay isn't revolutionary, it's a standard, you know, cover-based third-person shooter, but the story, the visuals, those elements are really well done. Unfortunately, we'll never get a follow-up. So that's a little bit of a bummer, because at the conclusion of the Order 1886, there's so many directions that you can go, and I just think, man, I would love to see a sequel for this game, and I know there's people out there like me that want to see a sequel for this game, but it's still, you know, a game that I would recommend you to play at a budget price point. $9.99, you know, is on the borderline of it being worth it and not worth it. $5 would be a slam dunk pickup, but if you want a shorter game, if you want a game that you can beat over a weekend and have like a nice experience with, I think Order 1886 is a decent buy. For those of you that are trophy hunters as well, it's a freaking easy platinum trophy, so if you want an easy platinum, there you go as well. But yeah, I think it's a good buy. Alright, now on the opposite side of the spectrum, from one game that you can complete in like 6 hours to another game that's going to give you a ton of content, Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition, 80% off for $7.99. We recently mentioned this in our video taking a look at games that you can play for a long time. $7.99 for this is great. I often say that, to me, this is BioWare's last truly great game. Some people would even say that this was a little bit of a drop-off from BioWare's standard, but I liked the game. I thought the visuals were good, I thought the story was pretty solid, and yeah, there were some gameplay elements that I wasn't as hot on, but you know, this came out back in 2014, and from my recollection, this was like one of the first PlayStation 4 titles that I really enjoyed. So yeah, for $7.99, I think it's a great buy. Like, if you've played a lot of Western RPGs and you want to go back into the vault and maybe check out one you might have missed, Dragon Age Inquisition, I think at $8 is a decent buy. Another Western RPG that I think a lot of people miss, Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition, 75% off for $9.99. Now, for sure, this game is not for everyone, but if you want a game with a little bit more realism, if you want a game with a little bit more historical influence, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance is a really good pickup. The story in this one is really good, and you definitely want to pick up the Royal Edition because you get the DLC, and even when the base game goes on sale, it's like $7.50, so you're paying like $2.50 more to get a bunch of DLC content, which is quite nice. This is a game that I really dug, but again, know what you're getting into, be into the more historical setting that this is going for, and also be into something that's a little bit more on the realistic side outside of, you know, like arcadey RPGs, but visually the game is quite good, and yeah, overall I think at $9.99 it's worth a buy, so go check that out. Next up, a game that I've been talking up a little bit recently and like telling you guys to pick up because we're coming up on the release of Sniper Elite 5. Sniper Elite 4 is down to $6 if you're a Plus subscriber, $9 if you're not a Plus subscriber. Very underrated game. Sniper Elite in general, like, is just one of those franchises that I would think would be more popular than it is, and in that same token, we're getting a 5th game in the series, so obviously there's a lot of people that do enjoy these games, but if you haven't checked out Sniper Elite 4, I've been seeing some comment section where I guess me talking about Sniper Elite 4 more is resonating with people because I've been seeing some comments, people being like, yo, thanks for recommending Sniper Elite 4, you know, it's a pretty good game. You know, maybe not at a full $50-$60, but at $6, I think you're gonna get a quality experience. If you want some friggin' gruesome kills, you're gonna get that in Sniper Elite 4 as well. You know, I don't think narratively it's super hooking or anything like that, but I thought the gameplay was quite good, and at $6, I think it's a fairly good pickup. Next up, I'm kind of on the fence of recommending this, but XCOM 2 Digital Deluxe Edition is $7.49. Now, ideally, when it comes to XCOM 2, you really do want to pick up XCOM 2, the collection that comes with the War of the Chosen expansion, and that's going to extend the experience quite a bit. However, if you just want to get the base game and see what XCOM is all about, XCOM 2 is not a bad pickup. Outside of the PlayStation 4 version of the game having some technical issues, the PC version had some technical issues too at launch. That's been mostly remedied on PC in my experience, but on PlayStation 4, you know, that still kind of holds true, which is a bummer, but if you want a very good tactics-based title, XCOM is one of those games that, again, not a genre I'm super into, but XCOM Enemy Unknown really won me over, and I thought XCOM 2 did a solid job building upon that, and for $7.49 for the Digital Deluxe Edition, I think that's a pretty good pickup if you're looking for a strategy tactics game. I think you'll have a good time with that. Next up, Mark of the Ninja Remastered, 55% off for $9. I remember when this came out on the 360 and the PS3, I want to say. I played it back then, and it came out on PC as well. I actually played it on PC when it originally came out, but Mark of the Ninja Remastered is the re-release of a super stylish 2D action adventure game. It's got a fantastic art style that has just aged tremendously well. By the way, the game never came out on the PS3. It came out on the 360, PC, and then with this version, I believe that was its first foray onto PlayStation. But nonetheless, this is a great game that is severely underrated these days. I remember when it came out, it had a little bit of buzz around it, but at this point, nobody really talks about it. You know, if you want an action style title, I think you're gonna have a good time with this. It's got a full audio remaster with this, and the visuals have been updated a little bit. New Game Plus is in there, and you have some DLC included. $9 for it. Great art style, as I mentioned, and I think if you're a fan of action style titles, you're gonna find something to enjoy here. Lastly, I do want to give a shout to one deal from the Golden Week sale, but not a JRPG. The Evil Within 2, 80% off for $8, I think is a tremendous buy. Evil Within 1 is on sale as well for $4.99, so by all means go buy that as well. I personally liked Evil Within 2 better. Saw some people in the comment section telling me I was high for that opinion, but nevertheless, Evil Within 2 was a very good survival horror action title. Pretty good story here as well, and you know, unfortunately, I don't know if we're ever gonna get an Evil Within 3. I heard some stuff about Ghostwire Tokyo originally starting as Evil Within 3. Don't quote me on that, but nonetheless, very good survival horror game, and if you want a survival horror action title, $8 for this is really good, but check out Evil Within 1 as well at $5. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, trying to come through for those of you guys. It's been getting a little bit more vocal based on what I've been seeing in the comment section. People getting a little bit perturbed, so to speak, for me constantly talking about Japanese games. It's Golden Week, so what do you want me to do? A lot of great JRPG deals. Go get that Trails of Cold Steel. But nah, the links to all these deals in the description box below as always, and that's gonna do it for me. Sound off in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.